What up, guys? A-Rod back with another video. Might be a little bit of a long video, um, just because my top my top buys, I guess, of 2025. It's a little late. We already almost over with the first month of 2026, but you know, I got 4 kids, and this is kind of just well, I guess it's my main hobby right now. But you know, gotta focus on the fam first. But yeah, kind of have a top, I guess, kind of a top 20 um, bottle video of 2025. And there's not a bunch of big allocations here, not a bunch of big releases. Um, I work during the day, so I'm not able to hit up the stores when they open and try and buy some of these allocated bottles that a lot of these YouTube guys are able to get their hands on and review for you guys. This is kind of just I I started I started collecting bourbon and getting into bourbon last year about this time. Actually, a Bruzel video popped up on my YouTube feed, and I clicked on it, and he was in Washington State, and the taxes here suck. And if you watch that video, he'll let you know too that the taxes here and the prices for some of these allocated bottles is outrageous. Um, but I watched that video, and for some reason something clicked, and I never used to drink before. I was not the drinker. Everybody else would be, having a good time, and I'd be having a good time too. But I wouldn't drink. I still don't, drink to get drunk or anything like that. I kind of find myself more of a, I guess, I wouldn't say connoisseur or collector, because they're all open. Um, but I really, really enjoy trying to find the differences in these bourbons and whiskeys. To me, it's just something that I, I, I found out I really enjoyed. And what's crazy is before all this, I really kind of didn't hate alcohol, but was never one to really like enjoy the taste of any of it. Besides like the foo girly drinks, loaded with sugars, and the vodkas, the Scooby snacks, the cranberry Red Bull vodka, all the foo stuff. And I used to be into, kind of still am into RC cars and RC trucks. I have another YouTube channel that I started a few years back about that, and maybe I'm not sure what happened, but maybe lost a little interest in it, and yeah, I don't know. Got real infatuated with bourbon, like I said. Not to ramble on, but kind of explaining my story a little bit. Um, yeah, I got really into bourbons, and started following a few YouTube channels. Bruzel, SLB, Mash and Drum were some of the first ones that I started watching. Whiskey Weather. There's really a lot of them out there. So I appreciate any views, likes, comments that I do get throughout the whiskey YouTube universe. Um, but yeah, so like I said, I'm not able to get my hands on a lot of big releases throughout the year, but I thought it'd be kind of interesting because these are my top 20 bottles that I bought throughout my first year of getting into whiskey, bourbon, and really enjoying it. So I have the Only Drams app, and I think I polished off a few within the last year. I'd say maybe 7 or 8 bottles that I went through. Wild Turkey 101 was one of them that I haven't replaced yet. Evan Williams Bottled in Bond. I like going through the I guess the bottom shelfers as well too, just to see, off of recommendations and stuff like that. Not really going through any of that here. Just like I said, uh, as a whiskey newbie, bourbon newbie, this is what I found in my last year of bourbon hunting and trying and tasting new things and enjoying, this hobby. Um, I'm not sure if I'm gonna do it in any particular order, just because uh, that might that might take a while. So I got them all here. My top 20 of 2025 and my first year of getting into whiskey. So let's get it started. All right, let's get this started. Like I said, not really in any particular order. I might save the last three for my top three, maybe. But for now, we're just gonna go what's right next to me. First off, we're gonna go local, and this is gonna be the Quartz Mountain Distillers 4 grain bourbon. This is a really good one. I got this probably about when? Well, when would I say I got this? Oop, right there. I'd say mid-year. This was one of the first distilleries that I took a tour of, and was like, oh dang, this is local. I'm gonna check this out, and it was pretty cool. But this is a good. This is one of my favorites from them. It's their 4 grain, single barrel, 2+ years aged. I know that doesn't sound like a lot to you, but the size of their barrels does make a difference. And this, to me, I think is one of their better, like, I guess, readily available releases. I did purchase several other bottles of them throughout the year, but this one here is probably one of my go-tos and my favorites for them. Next, this might have been one of the first bottles I bought, I guess, secondhand. Traded some stuff, and got a little package of some. This would be allocated in Oregon and in Washington. I'm not sure what the secondary price is, so I was able to get it for a good deal. But the Sweet Wheat from 1792, allocated in Oregon. It was actually on one of the liquor lotteries. I think this was the first 1792 that I tried. I also did get a foolproof store pick of this guy, but this is pretty delicious. I am a sweeter bourbon fan that I've found out, kind of now opening my palate to others. But when I first started, I was after the sweet stuff, just because, like I said, I wasn't really a huge alcohol drinker before, and I was kind of into the foo-foo stuff. Not really that this is any kind of foo-foo whatsoever, but yeah, this is in my top 20 for sure. Good bottle. Next up, we got the Jefferson's cask strength. When it first came out, I thought it was going to be like kind of a hard to find, allocated whatever kind of bottle. But when I go out now, this is one of the ones that I see that are kind of usually on the shelves. When this came out, this was a hot ticket item. I know that for sure. This is a great bottle. I think this was the. I did get another just regular basic Jefferson's at Bevmo in one of their buy one get one free week deals or whatever. Then I seen that this one came out, saw a couple reviews, and thought that I would try it. Was able to find it, and this is definitely in the top 20 of mine for 2025. All right, next we got the 2025 batch 25829 High West Boo-Rye. I picked this up on a trip that me and my wife took for our anniversary. Was able to pick this up. We both really enjoyed this bottle. It's a good one, and to me it has sentimental value because I think we're only going to open this on our anniversary, due to it being that kind of a, hey, we found this thinking that it was a really good bottle on our anniversary trip, and it really is. From what I can remember, it's like dark chocolate, orange, kind of. It's a good one. Me and her really both enjoyed this bottle. And I think this was like I can't remember if this was their first year that they had released this outside of Utah or not, but it was something like that. I was pretty stoked when I found it down in, I guess, middle Oregon going south. Um, but yeah, 2025 Boo Rye. That was a good one. Next up, we have the Smoke Eye Hill Blue Corn Barrel Proof Bourbon. I got this. Where did I get this? This was like the first expensive bottle, I guess, that I bought when I think probably because I bought it in Washington State and it was already up there, and then they charge you a bunch for taxes here. This was, I think, before I started learning to cross the border and look for expensive bottles over there. But this one, I don't think you can find in Oregon, and I don't think you can find it in Oregon still yet. Smoke Eye Hill Blue Corn Barrel Proof. This was my first very high proof bottle I bought as well. It's pretty good. Never had the Stag Junior to compare it to what the rumors were about this when this first came out. It came out, I think, early last year, somewhere around that time, maybe late 2024. This is a good bottle, one of my top 20 for sure, in my first year of collecting whiskey. Next up, we got the 16-year American whiskey finished in the Oregon Pinot Noir cask from Bull Run. Bull Run, I went to a tasting out here locally at a pretty cool spot. And Bull Run was one of the vendors there that was giving out some of their stuff, or handing out samples. And I tried them. I don't think that they distill their own stuff. I don't think they produced and bottled. So I'm sure it's distillate from either Kentucky MGP. I'm not quite sure exactly where, but 16-year finished whiskey, and I do really like the finished whiskeys. This is definitely one of my top 20. Always something I enjoy going back to. I have seen the 17-year in the stores around here, so once this is gone, I will definitely be purchasing another bottle. I think this is the bottle that when I realized I really enjoyed finished whiskeys, and started looking for those for the next couple months because I really enjoy them. Bull Run 16-year, top 20. Speaking of finished whiskeys, this is a bourbon coming out of Woodinville, finished in the Applewood staves. I think I did make a video on this, or a short. This is delicious, for sure. Like maybe even top 3 delicious. This is one of my favorite finished whiskeys, and it's coming from Washington State as well, which is pretty cool. If you haven't tried this one, it is a little spendy. It's a $100 bottle, but it is really good. I'm not sure what the age is on this, but either way, the flavors that come from this bottle are amazing. Highly recommend it, and that's why this is on my top 20 for 2025. Next up, I have the Woodford Reserve Double Oaked. As you can see, I enjoy this one. The first bottle I bought was just Woodford Reserve, and after that I had heard that this is even better, and it took me, I don't know, several months to finally try it out. Always kind of passing it up in stores just because I was looking for other things, or just didn't pay too much attention to it. But I always heard good things about this, and I did go and try this finally at a lunch. I asked for a pour at a restaurant me and my wife went to, and when I did finally try this, I understood why everybody said that. A lot of people say this is what got them into bourbon. I was already into it a little bit at this point, but this is definitely one of my favorites as well. Um, Gonna be looking for some store picks of this because I've heard good things about store picks of Woodford Reserve Double Oak. But either way, this bottle will be replaced and will always be on my shelf because it is that good. Next, we got the Rebel Foolproof Store Pick from Westmoreland Liquors, which is over here in Oregon. This was a really good bottle. This is a really good bottle. In my top 20, definitely because of how good it is, um, how much I enjoy Rebel. Just a basic $19 bottle of Rebel is really enjoyable. I was able to find this store pick from a really good, store that has really good store picks. And I almost enjoy this more a little bit than some of the Wellers foolproofs. But this is one of my favorites, and I think it was like $54 for a good bottle, a good weeded bourbon, which I enjoy as well. And that's why it's in my top 20, just because I just really enjoy Rebel and was really stoked when I got my hands on this and was able to enjoy it. Speaking of foolproof, this was actually one of the bottles I was allocated bottles I was able to find in the wild. Stopped in at Bevmo one day and just sparked up a conversation with one of the sales clerks, and they kind of just asked me if there was anything I was looking for that I can't find, and almost was hinting to me like, just ask me the right questions and I'll hook you up. So I asked her for if they had any Weller, and they had a Weller Foolproof, and I was able to purchase this. I couldn't believe it. Uh, when I first started watching Bruzel, I mean, the FOMO hit me or whatever. The something hit me looking for these Wellers, and uh, I was able to score this in the wild, and still haven't been able to find a special reserve in the wild on my own. Those have been sought out. Some of my friends have good relationships ships bleh, with some stores, so they're they're able to get some of these allocated bottles pretty readily. But Weller Foolproof, definitely a good bottle. Definitely lucked out on finding this one, and pretty proud of being able to get this one on my own. And it's a delicious bottle as well. So Weller Foolproof, top 20 of 2025. Next up, we have the Maker's Mark Keepers release, 2025. This was, I don't know if this was necessarily allocated or not. I'm pretty sure you can go to Total Wine and still find this on the shelf. But I was able to find this in Oregon, remarkably, on the shelf. I'm not sure if they get a whole lot of special releases besides their own store picks of Maker's Mark. I am a Maker's Mark fan. I definitely love the weeded bourbons, and this one was really good. I don't hit it too often because I don't think I want to pay the Washington taxes on this bottle. So, and I haven't seen it anywhere else in Oregon since I did get it, which I think maybe was like summertime. But I really enjoyed the Keeper's release this year. I think I had a sample of the 2024 Keeper's release, and to be honest, I can't really remember how it was. Not saying that it was bad or good, just can't remember. But this is a great bottle, and one that I'll be sad when it's gone, because it's pretty good. I got another store pick here from Westmoreland. It's a Trails End 8-year, finished in a honey cask. This was my first honey cask, honey finished, anything kind of whiskey, whatever that's out there. And this is a full proof, so this is 130.7 proof honey finish, and this is a really good bottle. I was pretty stoked when I was able to get it, just because I've been wanting to try a honey finish, but the fact that it was also cask strength and 8 years old made it that much better. This is a really good bottle, and if you're in the Portland, Oregon, Northwest area and you're able to make it to that store, I highly recommend this store pick from them. This is good stuff. All right, next up, we got the Weller 107. This I did not get on my own. This was from the homie that has a good relationship with a bar and liquor stores, and was able to get this MSRP, and was able to get me one as well. So this was my first bottle of the 107. I was so stoked when I finally got this. Probably just because of, you know, all the video, Bruzel mainly, you know, stating how good this bottle was, how hard it was to find, and you know, this bottle, I guess, is what got me started on the hunting aspect of getting this bourbon. And it wasn't that, it was cool that I got it, you know, that my homie got it for me, but when I finally was able to get one of these on my own, it was almost like, you know, I got my white whale, and kind of chilled out a little bit on the hunting aspect of it. And it was crazy. Like, I was after this for I don't know how many months, and I finally got one. It was just like, all right, cool. So the one that I got was a store pick, and I haven't opened it yet, but this is definitely a good bottle. People don't lie about this thing. This is a really good sipper. Everyone that I've given a sample to, or anyone that I've ever talked to that's had this, I haven't heard any complaints. So this has probably got to be one of the best bottles out there. So props to Buffalo Trace for keeping the people after these things. But this one is really good. Excuse me. Next up, we have. I mean, what are we in? I tried to save my. I guess I tried to save like my top ones for the last 5, but this is like the top 6 right here, and we're starting off the top 6 with Eastside Straight Bourbon Whiskey, 12 years old, 110 proof, finished in Oregon oak. So this is basically a double oaked product, finished in Oregon oak. If you've seen the video that I put out on this, this is a really good bottle. Everyone that I know really enjoys this, thoroughly enjoys this. If you know, you know. If you're from the Northwest, you know. This is good stuff. And, you know, based on what I heard, hopefully they're still coming out with this stuff, because they might be gone. Or maybe this bottle in particular might be gone. So I do have a couple of these, just in case that does happen. Distilleries or producers might have changed for this, which sucks if this goes away, but definitely one of my favorite bottles, top 6 favorite bottles of 2025. Right on. Number 5, Jack Daniel's Single Barrel Proof Rye. I'm not sure if this is a Coy Hill warehouse or not, the 19 on there, but regardless, with how high the proof is on this. This is so smooth drinking. This smells so good. This drink's sweet. Um, Everything about this bottle is badass, man. There's not anything that I could complain about this whatsoever. It's definitely why it's in my top 5 bottles of 2025. Um, every YouTube channel, everybody that I've talked to has really no complaints that I've ever heard of for these bottles, and everybody expresses how readily available and how good they are for being a readily available bottle. So here's my confirmation as well. Yes, this is fantastic, and look forward to keeping this one on my shelf. Number 4, we have the Woodinville 8-year rye. Was really looking forward to this release and really wanted to try it. One, because it's from Washington State, it's local, and 2, because I heard really good things about it, and the good things were true. This is a fantastic rye whiskey. I don't have a whole lot of ryes in my collection. Well, maybe I do. But this is 100 proof, 8 years aged in Washington State. The color on this is amazing. I don't know if you can really capture that, but definitely deserves a spot in my top 5 for 2025. This is a fantastic rye that has, it's different. It's different than a lot of the bottles that I have, and I like different. The further I go, into my whiskey journey, I'm really looking for like standout flavors. We all know the basic vanillas, brown sugars, stuff like that. That a lot of bourbons have. But this one really stood out, and is a great bottle. Highly recommend. Number 3, Jack Daniel's Single Barrel Toasted Barrel Heritage Barrel. Triple B, baby. This is a awesome sipper as well. Super sweet. It's a little early, but yeah. The nose on this is such a good bottle, guys. Like, and I'm so happy that it's readily available. Costco, I can get it. I think now Oregon has this on the shelves, just ready to go, which is awesome, man. Props to Jack Daniels for putting out good bottles, really good bottles, and making them readily available. Because I mean, that's awesome. This is really good, and that's why it's in my top 3 from 2025. And everybody's not wrong about this, man. This is basically a dessert whiskey. I can just have this for dessert because it's that good. Speaking of dessert whiskeys, this is another fantastic pickup that I got as a store pick from a grocery store in Tri-Cities. Haven't really seen anyone else talk about the maple brulee casks that these guys, I guess, picked from Penelope. I'm not sure if you have to, if you're doing a pick of these, that you have to go and pick whatever cask you want it finished in. But everywhere else I see the cognac, I see the Spanish oak, I see the Oloroso, I see the sherry, but I have not seen this maple brulee cask. And I wish I would have bought 2. That store is 3.5 hours away from me. Where I guess, my pops lives over there, so I guess it's not that big of an issue. I hope that there is still some of these left, because I'm not sure if I'll ever find this again. So this is one of my favorites from 2025, Penelope Project X Maple Brulee Cask, 108 proof. Freaking fantastic. Bomb. And my number one favorite all around. Will definitely always keep on the shelf. Always. This is what did I say in the video I made about this? I said I would wear this as a cologne because it smells so good. Bro. Lux Rose double single barrel. Yeah, wheated barrel and rye barrel. So it's a wheat whiskey rye whiskey blend. So it's not a boo rye. It's like a wheat rye. I guess I trying to find a cool word to say for that, but no. But this it's everything about it is good. The proof is perfect at what was it, 115? Yeah, 115 proof. The flavors of the rye are there. The flavors of the wheat whiskey, which I really enjoy, are there. Yeah, I mean, to me, this is when I'm looking at the my collection to say, oh, yeah, if I want to have a pour today or whatever. This one definitely always crosses my mind. I think it's only like $50 too. Out in Oregon stores, readily available from what I've seen. I know that these are single barrels. This is the first one that I've gotten, but this, even though some of these other bottles are a little lower, this one, just because of the fact that it is, a double single barrel or whatever. I'm not sure if the other ones that I get are going to be as good as this one, but this is, now that I think, yeah, this one right here, the flavors that it has are ones that I've bragged about the most to any of all my friends. This guy right here, it is really good. That Project X comes in a really, really close second, because that is also almost just as good, but the whatever they did in this barrel has got it going on. Right on, man. I know it's kind of a long video. Thanks for tuning in. Appreciate the views. Let me know if you have any of these bottles that I've spoken about. Let me know when you got into your whiskey journey and how far along you are into it. Yeah, like I said, thanks for tuning in. Appreciate the views, appreciate the comments. Share the shit out of the video. And until next time, I'm drinking water right now. Cheers.